do you need to learn scales in order to, get to the next level, in order to be a really good solo player? And the scale thing is a point where most people get to that point and they say, oh, that looks boring, right? Scales. And why is that boring? Why is there a shift there in your development? And you might, be beyond that point. But anyway, what's that shift about? Well, it's about the fact that, up until that point, you've been able to say, okay, I practice doing just one chord, right? And it sounds like music. So you get rewarded just right after you put 3 fingers on the fretboard. You struggle with it for weeks, right? But then the result is music. It's, oh, this sounds like something. And you can go, I was standing there, got the right? You can start creating something that really sounds like a song. And, you learn another chord. Right? Oh, my singing talent, it's such a gift. But you can produce something that really sounds like music. So you get rewarded almost instantly, right? With scales, it's a little bit different. At this point, you have to learn something that sounds nothing like music, right? And there's a lot of them. And then once you've learned a scale, what do you have? Like nothing, right? Because then you start playing some... Right? And you want to learn to, and then you go here. And it's you don't get a reward because you have to learn, technical skills on top of that. Have to learn picking, have to really know the scale, have to be able to play sequences, within it and combine the notes and all kinds of stuff in layers. So suddenly, and that's the point that you get to, suddenly there's a longer distance between the effort of learning something and when you get rewarded. And it expands quite dramatically, right? From putting 3 fingers on the fretboard and then another, and then being able to play a whole song and feel like you can really do something here, right? And then to learn scales, learning sequences, learning licks, and being so good at them that you can actually make them sound like the stuff you hear on the radio or whatever, right? On your computer, your device. And so that's the shift, right? You start looking into something where the reward is much farther away. And then the question is, how committed are you to reaching what level? And that's really the shift here. So my point is, you don't need to learn scales. You can just learn the first position blues scale shape, and you can get on, play solos in rock and pop with that forever. And some people do, right? Then you can add a little bit of Dorian to it and some extra notes and some chromatics, and then you're pretty off, go ahead with it. But still, there's a long, way until you really sound together when you use that, right? But you can decrease the amount of time there is before you get your reward, but it's just a matter of how far you want to go. And here's the principle. The farther you want to go, the higher your goal, the bigger your ambitions, the more distance in between what you learn and the reward there's going to be, right? So I hope you get this. This is so simple, right? And you cannot get there if you're not willing to amp up, right? And say, okay, I can go through the Sahara Desert and get my reward at the other end of it, right? I can go for each drum, in Sahara they have this little system of putting up little barrels. So when there's no roads, so you basically put up a barrel and you can see that in the horizon. Then you go for that barrel. As you get to that barrel, you can see the next one in the horizon, right? So you go from barrel to barrel. And it's the same thing here, right? If you want to get to the final level, you have to really, and that's where frustration sets in, that's where hopelessness, all of these things sets in, because we're really walking through the desert. But it's the name of the game, baby. It's what you need to do. And once you are clear on that and know that that's the discipline, then you can go, you can go into it with so much more confidence and just know that, the frustration, I'm never going to get there, all of this, that's what happens. But you also need, in that realm of going for the highest point, to focus on getting small results all the time. So you have more barrels in the desert, right? So you have more rewards. And that's why you need to focus. You need to focus on just a little thing, playing 3 notes on one string. playing just these 2 chords over and over and over and over again. So you actually get measurable, visible, audible results instead of taking on, I'm going to learn to play all the scale shapes across the neck here, and it's going to take me a year until I really master that. And there's no barrels in the desert then. There's no results on your way, and you're absolutely going to crash. So be a good coach to yourself. Be aware of that discipline you're into, right? And then start creating little results. What can I achieve in a week? What can I achieve in a day? Focus on activities, getting a result there of 1,000 repetitions of something, right? What result can I do in 4 weeks? Can I actually learn to become X number of, better, faster, whatever, in that period of time? And if you do that, you'll experience results all the time, and it won't be such a long walk through the desert. It'll just be results, scoring goals all the time. So you'll get, amazing. But it requires you to focus, right? Instead of practicing a ton of things in one big loop, your daily practice routine that takes you nowhere, you need to take just 1 or 2 things and then hammer at them, right? For multiple hours a day, if you can. And most people can, because most people watch, an average of 4 hours of TV each day. You just convert those hours into absolute practice time by using some of the ideas I have in my other free videos here to achieve whatever skill level you want, because anyone can.